Cut corners, you pay the price later. I'm already paying the price now. I can't afford the price later.
Where it's made contact with the plate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can hear that.
If you've got a failure part of the engine, the engine's going to fail on that part.
Gonna learn a lot so you guys have some idea of what you can actually do. Yo, so we are back visiting Joe, the engine builder, kind of get a rundown on the specs of what exactly might need to be changed and what we're going to do with the actual plates that we do have left, what can be used, and just kind of go from there. So to give you some like context of what it is, right? So bearing broke.
Yeah.
Absolutely tilted the E-shaft. One of the rotors hit the middle of the housing and then also on the rear plate, right? So we have like big gouge in one of them, absolute terrible. Can't be used again.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's too much wear, unfortunately. Large grooves here where it's made contact with the plate pretty much all the way around. And it kind of comes out of the outer side here where your control rings all kind of pass over.
Right. So to give you guys some idea, this isn't something where you can particularly feel it other than it just feels like you're running over a piece of hair. But more than enough to consider not using it, pretty much.
And then you, so that's your middle, this is your rear, and the rear as well. Here, this area is where the corner of your rotors made contact into here.
Yeah. So this would be like sliding on AstroTurf. This is what I would describe that as.
Yeah.
Just like not smooth. Because once you actually realize how smooth this is,
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh yeah, that's dog shit.
Exactly. This is like, it feels like glass. Like
Yeah, like actually.
You run your finger across this direction, you can feel there's quite an elevation and kind of step wear in that as well.
So if you can see that marking, right? This is where, I mean, you can already see where the whole rotor goes across, slides through there, and it is present. It's definitely present. Because compared to anywhere else, you look at it and it's just like, yeah, pretty much glass.
You can
But
see
it's
the
a good
variant,
way.
the variant in there kind of gives away the story.
Yeah. The fun stuff.
I mean, I would definitely try and just get 3 clean plates, and then just start fresh with the plate side of it.
Cause see, See, so this is where now pretty much after the assessment of everything, most if not, I mean the best direction with that is new plates. Didn't want to have to, but we are now. So just to kind of give you an idea of like why you're going to go over this is a lot of the times maybe you might not assume that it can be saved. Maybe you think it can be, but a lot of the times, I mean, based on how much damage, right? Like,
yeah.
I thought these were savable for the most part. I did think these were savable. So we only have pretty much one good plate.
Yeah, the front's probably the only one.
Front's the only one.
I mean, there's people out there who would probably put this back together and,
absolutely.
and send it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the purpose of like the cost of a rebuild, especially in this part of the world, for people watching, like shipping parts from here to Australia or the UK or anywhere is expensive in itself. So trying to do a rebuild when you're at this stage and cut corners is just going to bite you in the ass later. You're better off.
Which is what I wanted to do.
Spending a little bit extra.
But
now,
you can. But you can. You cut corners, you pay the price later. I'm already paying the price now. I can't afford the price later. That's exactly what it is. So
do it once and do it right.
Yeah, do it once and do it right. So I mean, if anything, I plan on hopefully maybe doing something with the plates, learning something, porting them, messing with them in that regard. So there will be some benefit, hopefully something we can do in the future and figure out where we go from there pretty much.
Yeah.
But 1 out of 3 are usable. So okay. Which one that has the deep gouge?
Yeah.
This is the deep gouge.
Yeah.
So that's just straight out the window.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, you can hear that.
Because it's crazy. I mean, in any other circumstance of anyone who would just be like, okay, I have this, pulled it out. It doesn't look as terrible as I think it does, but like honestly, you don't realize until you touch it.
Yeah.
It is that I was looking at online after understanding that was looking at secondhand irons. And it is absolutely terrible to have to look at. Like actually it's terrible because honestly, I honestly at this point, I would actually never recommend anyone to buy irons online. Yeah. Unless you pretty much knew the person.
Yeah.
Because you would look at these. Because I was asking one guy about what his looked like. Kind of had some staining like that. But see, this is a good one. This one works. But at the same time, in his picture, I thought his shit was pitted. I thought it was everything in between. So then I'm just like thinking to myself, all right, maybe save a few hundred. I think the center iron that he had was like 350 pounds. Like solid, reasonable, decent bargain. Worst case scenario, if he takes a return it back, or it's something somewhat decent condition that you can use for something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or there's some benefit or use in it, right? But man, like when you talk about, he's measuring this with a micrometer.
Yeah.
Measuring it with a micrometer. Like you're talking about trying to feel something out in person being insanely difficult. Forget looking at pictures. Like generally, like it was all staying. Like so, I was asking him so many questions, and he just told me like, yeah, just look at the photos. But I'm just like, well, man, I'm trying to tell him like I'm rebuilding a whole engine. I'm not trying to put like things that are going to be just as worse right back in. Serves no purpose, you know. So
I think if you're going to buy used parts, especially the irons, like try and buy them from a specialist rotary shop who's already checked them out. And,
yeah.
You know, they know they're second hand. They give it to you at second hand prices, but hopefully it's a respectable shop.
Exactly.
For you, you know?
So much better because I honestly wouldn't even bother. Sure, I might get lucky, but if you didn't, time, money, effort, because I spent like, I mean, what has it been like almost like a solid week and a half since like we even talked about like the whole iron situation, and I'm just like, well, it feels like a dead end for the most part if I'm being quite honest. Yeah. Anyway, we're here now, and it seems like I'll be getting a new set of irons. I mean, I'd say it is what it is. They're actually not terribly priced comparatively. Yeah. They're not terribly priced. Within reason for what it is. I'm not mad about what numbers he told me on that because all the numbers of what I would spend to get the ones that I wouldn't know or wouldn't have confidence in is roughly maybe 40% of the total price. Yeah. And is that worth, like just getting a 50% discount to like fucking absolutely destroy any possible longevity that exists in your engine? It's like, yeah, like I said, I paid the price once. We're not running it back. Saying what the full setup of the car would be like, right? So, for example, this would be the talking, you know what I mean? Yeah. Talking around, lots of plates, lots of irons, a lot of rotors, good place to be in, right? So a lot of moving forward, for example, I got a lot of recommendations for different things. He's told me some things, and this is where like I'm trying to figure out, okay, although we kind of have an idea, right? Is like street port for reliability. I plan on driving the shit out of this car. To give you guys some idea, I've owned the car for about 8 months. Drove the shit out of it for 4 every other day, running it. Yeah. I was telling him, I was putting in coolant in my car every 2-3 days. Yeah. Right? like you know what I'm saying? Like a proper top up. So I was asking him, like, is that normal? I was driving a lot. I just got the car, so I don't have like a gauge. Oh no, I should be filling it once a week, check it then. So I was just like, I was a stickler, man, because I was terrified. I was terrified, oh man, don't let it overheat, don't this, don't that. So I was just pulling out every single thing, every drive, like I was in Formula 1, just like, full systems check, because I was running that shit into the dirt. I was driving. So this is why I am not so mad this happened. While I own the car, I can definitely say, in that span, I probably drove it already more than the previous owner did in his 2 years of ownership. Yeah, exactly. I can definitely say that.
That's why we own them.
You know what I'm saying? That's like why we own them. So, a street port, so I can drive the shit out of the car, first off. Or at least that's how I think about it. Because the whole Bridgeport, half bridge, maybe a bit excessive.
Yeah, especially with the twins. If you're going to run the twin turbos, like it's hard to go to a bridge. I don't think it's going to operate very well.
Right.
And like we said, going to street port now will allow you to kind of make a little bit more power on the twins, and when you go to single, you'll still be able to crank the boost up and maybe do flex fuel or something and make whatever power goal you really want. It's still going to flow pretty well.
Yeah. Because see, this is the thing, right? Like when I think about a lot of what people try to do with their cars and what doesn't tend to happen is the strategic planning of what it potentially may be, or potentially, you know what I'm saying, what you'd want it to be. And so this is where, I mean, once you get into the nitty gritty of pulling out the engine, I guess all things should be considered at that point. You know what I mean? Because I am not going back in there. You know what I mean? Like, not without purpose.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
How much are the rebuild kits now?
Exactly.
8K, eight and some change. I'm stuttering because I'm mad. This is insane. But it does have everything you need. At some point, I might throw up a video and like just go through what actually comes in with the kit I got. This was the Atkins Rotary full rebuild kit for an RX-7. So with the street port, I'll just call it daily because I drive my cars. Yeah. Like we all drive our cars. Yeah. That's one thing I've definitely understood. Like even talking to you in a few minutes, him telling me about his, it's just like, oh, we driving. Like that's for sure. Like we definitely driving. Yeah. So then, after the street port, main recommendation I received after that, because this was reiterated multiple times when I was removing the engine, was the whole rat's nest.
Yes.
Right? So running them, because what did they call it? We run it normal in its stock formation, sequential, at the same time, simultaneous? Parallel, yeah, that's what they were. Yeah. So running them in parallel, what would I need? So this is like one block-off plate for the turbos. So the solenoid that they connect under the car by the exhaust connects to itself, right? Or is that how they run it? You don't.
I haven't done the delete on them before, but yeah, it's basically a flap in the exhaust that diverts all the exhaust gas to one turbo, and then changes across. The flap opens to the second turbo, and then there's on the intake side there's also some butterflies in that. But there's I don't know how many solenoids were there in yours. There's like
too many.
A bunch of solenoids. It's not 2 or 3. It's a whole bunch.
If you crack them, then you need a whole new box. Well, it depends which generation you've got, but it's not.
Oh, so you run the same.
Yeah. So mine's all stock with that, and I had to get a new box of solenoids. I can't remember what do they call it? The black box.
Yeah, his is 2002. It's the last one yet. It's slightly different in how the setup all works, but. It's he was taking one bit of the rubber hose off and cracked the plastic nipple off.
Yeah,
it's literally one of them.
It's like a whole new box.
12 different. I think there's 18 different vacuum lines going into this one thing, and I cracked one, and it was like 250 quid for a new one.
Painful. Like I understand the feeling though. Like it's painful because you're just like, well, the small things that add up.
Yeah.
Because so the way he was explaining to me a lot of times is if you were to replace one of them, kind of makes sense. If you replace 2, you might as well do 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I do resonate with that and the idea that why put in a plate with 40% life when the other ones are coming in with 100? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like how I'm seeing it, which is fully understandable.
It's like we've had a friend recently, so if you've got a failure part of the engine, the engine's going to fail on that part. So why risk it with not replacing something when you've got the opportunity to?
Yeah. Because it's not like you can just unscrew the irons and put them back in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Running the twin turbos in parallel, and when you do that, you automatically remove the rat's nest associated, right? Nothing else goes under there, does it?
Just your coils, stock coils now that sit under there in the same place. But I think if you're going to go down that route, it's a good idea. It's a good time to do the ECU update as well, because otherwise you're going to have a bunch of wires still sticking around under there.
Right.
There's a lot of wire in there. So to simplify and clean that all up, the aftermarket ECUs, it's a perfect time to do it. I know it's stretching the budget, but you're going to have to take it all apart and go back to that when you get to the ECU.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so okay. Good segue. Point being is, can it still be run on the stock ECU?
Yeah, it can still be running the stock ECU. It's just
because it's just not tunable, right? Like this is like the main thing, right? It's just not tunable.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, once you street port, it's going to be a challenge anyway because you
mixtures.
Yeah, your fuel mixture's got to. You can bump fuel pressure to try and get around that to an extent. It's a band-aid. It's a dangerous band-aid. But the ECU, like, I think you could probably even run like a Heltec Elite 750 maybe. I'd have to have a look at the wiring on it. But you don't need a lot once you remove the rat's nest. That's like probably half of your output's gone to that. So
is it?
Yeah, like it uses up a lot of outputs, and so. And you know, if you're not going to run an oil metering pump, if you're going to premix, you know, there's another bunch of outputs that you have spare. So you could probably get away with like a cheap Heltec Elite 750 and a new wiring loom, which is like $300 or $350 for the whole loom. You know, so it's pretty cheap. And you'll see, like when we get to the stage of, you would have seen it when you pulled your engine apart. There's a lot of wiring under there, and
insane amount, more than I thought. Like honestly, more than I thought, way more than I thought.
And it makes it doesn't look neat when you take all of the plumbing out of that, like the rat's nest solenoids, and then all the wiring's left behind. It's just some spaghetti of wires sitting under your intake.
No, but actually,
so when you
and then half of them broke on the way out too. Exactly. That's for sure. How difficult would it be for them to actually put it back in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can buy the wiring plugs brand new still, and they come with terminals, so you cut the old ones and splice and recrimp most of the time.
So you can. Highly unadvisable at this point, based on most, if not all, recommendations, regardless of budget. Because I'm always going to go back to budget, because in doing this, I feel like people who didn't have the resources or didn't bother to find people in the group, us, honestly, unless you had money, you're sorted. You spend a bag, shit. Throw a 3-rotor in there, call it a day, tell them to just, add the bits and bobs, throw on some paint, wait about a month or two.
Yeah.
Life's good. Sure. Yeah, life's good. Yeah. But how realistic is that for most people? Not really. And along the way, for me personally, and with their help, gonna learn a lot so you guys have some idea of what you can actually do. Because I knew some of this, but most of it I didn't. And I wished only when I took out my engine that I learned most, if not everything, in terms of the mods that they were recommending. Because daily driver, drive as much as possible. I don't want that to be something I'm thinking about. Hop in, tear the streets up. Absolutely, just, like, peace of mind. Because, so I have another car, an R32 Skyline. Completely stock, just aesthetics all there, right? But I was considering, do turbo, this, that. It's decently fast for the car that it is. And then I'm thinking to myself, along the way, down the line, then I might actually put a turbo on it. But in its form now, I love it. It's just the cruiser car. I drive to Dubai, come back, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just comfortable. I'd call it, it's more comfortable than my Ultima, in my opinion. Just driving on the right side, cruising through. Man, I'm having like a ball. All I have to pay for, coolant, basic maintenance, just redone the full gasket kit. Only thing I'm considering is just random dumb upgrades, which I don't need to do. And that's a good place to be in. On the opposite side, when we're not considering spending thousands and I have to do it. Exactly. So this is where, having an idea of what it is that you can do within reason, for me, is the number one thing I want people to know. Because, man, I probably could have come to a lot of these answers or understanding, but my God.
It takes a long time.
Like, with them, I mean, this shit's gonna slap. Like, I already know everything's gonna work out as it is. It's just more of a sense that kind of strategizing for the future of what it could potentially be. And then street port, removing the rat's nest, block off plate for the turbo that runs in parallel, whatever solenoid situation under that's to deal with that sequential part. I think what he was saying, he might just connect it to something or connect it into some part of the thing. Pretty simple. I don't think I have to buy anything for that. So when I first got my Skyline, I didn't know how to drive it. I've never driven a right-hand drive car. And going back to the other part of the longer story part is that I ended up waiting a little bit to buy it, like maybe another month. But in that month, the previous owner had switched and changed the gearbox, and I didn't know. So I'm going to Dubai now, and they're unloading this car. So I'm checking it in a garage, check compression, all the fun stuff. And I sit in the car, put the key in, and I look down. I see 3 pedals. I shit a brick. Like, honestly, I had no idea, and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? I'm sitting here, the tow truck guy's like, move it. We're in like a busy area, and we're like, what is it, Ras Al Khor?
Yeah.
Kind of like, dude. I'm like sitting there, no AC's on. Half the door is open, one dude shouting in the back, trying to like, guide the way. I'm trying to like figure out what pedal to actually use to like change it out of gear, do whatever. Man, that's terrible. Classic. I ended up just, telling the guys in the garage, like, I got it off because I had to let go of the brakes. I got the car off.
Yeah. That's
stalled it twice, and then I called it a day. Like, yo, send someone over here to bring the car into the garage.
That's cool.
So I never even knew how to drive the car. So I never driven a manual, right? So I bought the car, had it delivered after this whole scenario.
Yeah.
Delivered straight to my house, and I receive it, and I can't even drive it.
Yeah.
So it's just there, and I'm like, okay, the journey begins. To kind of give you an idea of where I'm at, well, I'll just go fucking head first, and the rest will figure itself out, because it has to. It will. There's no other option.
Yeah. So anyway, we know what we're going to do next. We know what the plan is, and it was once we get the plates, once you find the plates, hopefully I'll go back in Oz. Set it up with a set. We'll get it out here. We'll do the porting, get the street porting done, and then hopefully the rotors and housings will be back around the same time.
Yeah. So a little update on that part of things. Getting 3 new plates. Hopefully it'll come from the same place. That way I'll have confidence in it. We'll have confidence to actually build it and put it together. And then 2 housings. It's going to be resurfaced. The the rotors are going to be side clearanced. And then the E-shaft is going to be machined for an oversized bearing, so that fits in there. How does that work exactly? Because the bearing doesn't change, right? Or it's just the E-shaft getting machined to fit into that bearing that fits into the singular same size.
So they're going to try and machine the circumference down. So they'll put it in a machine and take material off to get rid of the scores in it. Hopefully, I think Omar messaged the other day and said he's hoping they can repair it. If they have to take too much material off, they won't be able to match a bearing to it. But obviously, when you shrink down the circumference of the shaft, you need to get a thicker bearing or one with a smaller hole in it, and they match. They match the clearance to the same spec. So it's just a thicker internal bearing, just this piece in here, and then so that'll be pushed through, and then a new bearing, slightly bigger, slightly thicker surface on it will be pushed back in, and the clearance will be the same with the E-shaft and the new surface.
Right. Okay.
So same with a piston engine. If you machine a crank, you go oversized bearings by a couple thousandths of an inch.
Right.
And it's a pretty simple process, but it just depends on how deep that scoring was, because it was pretty chewed up. But if they can't fix it by just machining a small amount, you might have to buy a new E-shaft, but they're not that expensive, especially second hand. They're not a super expensive part on a 13B.
Fair enough. And that one, at least for the most part, checking for condition isn't going to be as difficult as it would be for one of the irons.
Yeah, exactly. You can see them, like they should be almost a mirror finish when they're in perfect condition.
Yeah, so if it looks like shit, don't buy it. And then it'll be okay. Painful now, smiles later.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, theoretically, right? That's no-go.
Yeah.
That's a no-go. Okay. And this is the rear plate.
Yeah, center. That's the center plate.
Oh, center plate.
Yeah. So it's kind of 2 sides to that. Once one's damaged, you've kind of screwed
both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just the one side that was damaged. It's that one that really wobbled really bad, but
no issue on the face. It's double-sided.
Yeah. And I mean, just like the whole...
Two-faced.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, once you get it, you give it a bit of a clean before you put it back together to get as much of that, especially when we pulled it apart and sand and stuff came out.
Yeah,
But once you get that all back together and put some good coolant through and maybe a coolant flush, you get more that colour, all the rust colour comes out, and you get back to it'll be nice and fresh and clean again.
Right. That's where it's like, I mean, when that happens, I always think shit's about to go south.
Exactly.
Okay. So this pretty much, you would consider this unusable, or would you still? Oh, this is unusable because of the gash, all that. Just not worth it.
Yeah.
Well said. Not worth it.
Usable, but not worth
Usable,
it.
but not worth it. So we'll call that out of the question.
If you wanted to build like a drag car that was just going to be held at wide open throttle, you'd probably be alright. Like, but cruising around, you're going to get a lot of oil seepage through.
So to kind of give you guys some idea of no bueno. No bueno. So to kind of give you like an idea of like my nail of how thin that side is, and this is where the seal sits, and I mean, yeah, all bad news, combustion, water, that's a no-go. So this plate, considering, let's say, other than this part, right? This is, let's say, I'm not talking about the condition particularly, but it's usable.
Yeah.
This is usable.
Just wouldn't want to risk it because of those.
So, because you had mentioned this previously, right? Welding on something here and then kind of like, we'll just call it
machining it, kind of
Machining it
back to
machining it back.
It's a hard process. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just, it is an
It's a process.
It's a band-aid fix, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and when it's in multiple places, like that's pretty much already through. But you can see up here, it's also starting to rust, and up on this side, it's starting to come apart. Like if you use that with 2 new plates in 2 or 3 years, you might have another engine failure.
Okay, 2 or 3 years is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it goes past quick.
Yeah.
You're like, I swear I just had a rebuild. You're like, that was 2 years ago.
Lucky or unlucky, well, I'll just call it lucky because I'll find the opportunity in it, is that I'm still going to actually try and see if I can fix it.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not going to use it now. And why I say whether it's usable, maybe make a shitbox rotary engine car at some point.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'll make a nice coffee table.
See, I thought about it. I really did. And then this is like kind of use at your own risk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mainly here and across here, you can feel it.
Yeah.
So you've got like your oil control ring seal, like which is a hard steel seal, runs across that. And
Can catch.
it's just kind of like you have oil, like quite a fair bit of oil in here, coming from the bearings. It kind of it feeds back down through the bottom here, and that will leak through again to your combustion chamber, and you'll have a smoky engine, puff out oil smoke, not just fuel smoke.
No bueno as well. Fair enough. All right.
Cool.
Cool.
See you next time.